Yo, what's up guys, it's NLW Figs here, back again with another video. Today, going to be going through my thoughts and predictions for Saturday's Summerslam 2021 in Vegas, main evented by, of course, a dream match between Roman Reigns and John Cena. It's a solid card on paper. Some of the matches have been built up fantastically, others not so much, but I'm going to go through it in detail and talk about my predictions for each of the matches. But before I do, make sure you drop a like on the video as it really helps the channel get out there. Also comment down below what are your predictions for SummerSlam, and as always make sure you're subscribed to NLW Figs. So without further ado, let's get into the video. And we'll start with a match that has been rumoured for SummerSlam, although I'm not quite sure if it's going to happen at SummerSlam. I'm actually filming this on Monday night, so Raw hasn't happened yet, so this match could be on SummerSlam, it might not, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's inevitable that it will happen, and that's RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos. I'm not the biggest fan of AJ and Omos as a team, to be honest. I think that Omos, you know, he's a great spectacle, but in the ring, the matches, it seems to be the same thing every time, and I did enjoy their match against the New Day at WrestleMania. I thought it was something different at the time, but now the formula seems to be the same thing over and over again. So if this match is to happen at SummerSlam or after, hopefully the formula is a little bit different than just AJ gets dominated and then Omos comes in for the save, because I think that RK Bro are a fantastic tag team. I think it's a fantastic idea. They have great chemistry together on screen, and I think they should win the Raw Tag Team titles sooner rather than later. I feel like it's a tag team that can really inject some life into the tag team scene on Raw and really put over some other tag teams other than AJ and Omos, because they've been dominating for a long time and the matches seem to be the same formula every time. So I'm hoping that if this match happens at SummerSlam, maybe it won't, maybe it will happen after, but I hope that that match will live up to expectations and be less formulaic, if you know what I mean. Going for RK Bro to win that match whenever it happens. Could be SummerSlam, maybe after. And now we'll actually go on to the confirmed matches for the card. So we'll start off with another match from Raw. We've got Drew McIntyre going one-on-one with Jinder Mahal. Jinder's been recently hanging around with Veer and Shanky, and I like the trio itself. Not a massive fan of Jinder as an in-ring performer, but then again, not many people are, and that's not a knock on the guy. I just think that he's of a bygone era in wrestling. You know, I feel that the standard has gotten a lot better to the point where matches like this, it's not really doing it for me personally, and I'm glad to see McIntyre doing things outside of the title picture for once, but this feud, I don't know. Anyway, it has got some history to it at least, with both men being from 3MB, so it's a match that I know many people have wanted. I think this is going to be a decent match. I don't think it's going to be great by any means, but I think it will exceed some people's expectations. I'm expecting Drew McIntyre to win. I think they need to keep him strong after a series of WWE title losses on pay-per-view, and this match really I think is to rebuild McIntyre. So I'm predicting Drew to win, but then again, they could set up a Punjabi prison match for later down the line, which, do you know what? I love the Punjabi prison. I know everyone hates it. I know most of the matches have been less than good, but I'm a massive fan of the concept itself, and I think that if it were to be McIntyre and Jinder, it would be the best Punjabi prison match that had ever happened, although that's not a high bar to beat, but still, it is what it is. Next up, we'll go on to the United States title match. Got Sheamus defending against Damian Priest. Big fan of Damian Priest from NXT. I think his in-ring work, especially as a big guy, seems to be what Vince is looking for, especially with the news of NXT kind of revamping and redesigning everything about the whole philosophy of NXT, which I could go on in another video about. But as for right now, Damian Priest on Raw, feel like he needs the US title. Sheamus has been a decent champion, although he hasn't really defended it a lot, has he? Yeah, so it had a kind of a whimper to it, because he's only really faced, Humberto and Ricochet. Not been a great reign, actually, in hindsight, but I think now is the time to end it. Put Priest over as a young star, as the US champion, and then maybe build up to a WWE title picture down the line, who knows? That's what I'm hoping at least. So I've got Damian Priest winning this one to win the United States Championship. Over on SmackDown, we got the SmackDown Tag Team titles on the line, as the Usos defend against Dominic and Rey Mysterio. Their match at Money in the Bank was pretty decent, so I'm expecting the same for this one. I don't think that the Usos are going to lose just yet. Feel like that story is still building. When they lose the tag team titles, I feel like it's going to be a big deal for the family, and Roman Reigns is really going to use it to elevate himself further, but I'll get to that later on in his match against John Cena. So I'm predicting the Usos are going to win. Rey Mysterio and Dominic, I don't know what they're going to do from here, where they're going to move on to, but it'll be interesting to see how this match plays out. I'm predicting the Usos to win it. Moving on to the women's matches, first of all, I'll talk about the SmackDown women's title, and this match seems up in the air as to what's happening. Maybe by the time this video goes out, some more information will be made available, but as of right now, Monday night, it's a bit up in the air because they missed a house show, and it's rumoured that this match might not even happen at SummerSlam. All I'm hoping is that that both women are, doing okay, health-wise or injury-wise or what have you. But if this match does go ahead, I'm predicting Bianca to win. I don't think Sasha needs to win the title back just yet. Even though she's got a crew around her, I feel like there's more leverage in that Bianca title reign. I feel like there's more challenges to come for Bianca. I don't want Sasha to win the title again at the moment. I feel like Bianca has a lot of momentum on her side, and I don't want that to be quelled here at SummerSlam. So I'm predicting Bianca to win, although I've got a sneaking suspicion that Sasha could potentially win the championship, but we'll have to wait and see. I do like that Sasha's a heel again. I think it suits her much more than being a babyface, because she can be more arrogant now with Selena and Carmella, this new faction by her side. So be interesting to see how it plays out at SummerSlam. But their match at WrestleMania was fantastic. Hopefully we do get to see it at SummerSlam, or at least in the very near future. And from the Raw side of things, we've got the Raw Women's title on the line as Nikki ASH defends against Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. And this whole feud has been not very good to say the least. Nikki Ash, the superhero character, I'm fine with. It's just her losing all the time. It's that WWE mentality of, fans will get more behind them if they're losing all the time, and not really, because it just makes them look weak heading into the title match. And I'm a big fan of Nikki Cross. I'm really glad that she's finally the women's champion, even if it is a character that I'm not 100% on board with, but it's her idea, and it's what she wants to do, so more power to her. I have a sneaking suspicion that Charlotte is going to win the title, but I hope that I am proved wrong. Potentially, they could have Nikki ASH win, but I think that her winning Money in the Bank was just a storyline roadblock. I don't see it going any other way than Charlotte winning, but maybe that's just me being pessimistic. I'm predicting Charlotte to win, hoping for Nikki to win, but also hoping for Rhea to just get back on tracks, because since losing the women's title, and even before then, she's been kind of spinning her wheels for a bit, so I'm hoping that Rhea Ripley gets something more substantial to do once this feud is over, hoping that Nikki wins, but predicting Charlotte. Now we're coming on to the only match that I'm actually really psyched for. It's Edge versus Seth Rollins, a dream match for years, a match that I actually booked in NLW years ago for the Intercontinental title, and now it's happening in real life. And who could have predicted that this would have happened, years ago when Rollins did that thing where he was threatening Edge to stomp on his neck and all that? Who would have predicted that 7 years later they would be competing in one of the main events at SummerSlam? It's wild, man. In 2021, the wrestling landscape is fantastic right now. So again, I'm thinking, I'm not really sure. I feel like Edge needs a win, and personally I think that Seth Rollins doesn't necessarily need to win this one. It could go either way. I'm predicting Seth Rollins to win because he is the young star, and I know that they'd want to put him over, especially if they're teasing something with him and Roman Reigns down the line. But I don't know, Edge has been lacking big pay-per-view wins since the Royal Rumble, so I could see Edge winning this one. I'm going to predict Seth Rollins for now though. Now we come on to the WWE Championship. Goldberg, for some reason, facing the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley. Now there's a number of routes I feel like they could have gone with this one. Brock Lesnar, obviously they're not going to get him because they can't sign him, so that's fair enough. But then you've got other people on Raw, like, I don't know, Keith Lee, for instance. I know that he's had his health issues, and it's great to see him back, but why not slot Keith Lee into this position? Gives him a big title match, and also capitalizes on the fanfare of him being back finally, And there's also other people on Raw that could have had this opportunity. You've got Randy Orton, you've got Matt Riddle, who could have gone for the championship here at SummerSlam, but instead it's Goldberg again. It's going to be 2 minutes, but there's no need for this in 2021. Goldberg wrestling for the title, really. I'm just hoping that Bobby Lashley wins and moves on from this, because this feud isn't doing anyone any favours. But whatever, it is what it is. Bobby Lashley's going to win. He better win. That's all I'm going to say. And now we come on to the main event for the Universal Championship. It is Roman Reigns defending against John Cena. Now his return at Money in the Bank was spectacular, and John Cena has really shown what WWE has been missing for so long, that kind of natural charisma that he's got, and the fans are finally cheering him 100% again, and it's good to see, because I know there was a lot of Cena hate for years, I was kind of part of that when it was Super Cena, but now, people are over it, and it's good to see Cena back here, and it's good to see people actually hyped for a Roman Reigns versus John Cena match. The promo work between the two has been fantastic, really giving them the reins, no pun intended, to really let loose promo-wise and just talk about what they want. And that unscripted feeling really comes across and just makes the whole show and the segments involving those two seem a lot more dynamic. It's been built up really well in my view. I feel like Roman Reigns is going to win. I can't see Cena sticking around for too much longer after this. That said, the match itself, I'm really looking forward to. Their match at No Mercy a couple years ago, it it wasn't really my thing. But I think this time, with the main event stakes to it, that kind of big-time main event feel that you don't usually get in WWE these days. Reminds me of the Ruthless Aggression era, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to say Roman Reigns to win. Still don't know who's going to beat Roman Reigns for that title, but I'm along for the journey. Wrestling at the moment is pretty damn good, other than Monday Night Raw, which has had a terrible build to SummerSlam. Even there's highlights on SmackDown, which are really, really good and worth checking out in my view, because I'd still try and check out the Cena Reigns segments when I can, and anything involving Seth Rollins and Edge too. There's some atrocious booking decisions here and there in WWE at the moment, but I'm trying to remain optimistic about SummerSlam being a decent show. So those are my thoughts on the card. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. What are your predictions for SummerSlam? Let me know. Also, like the video to help get the channel out there, and remember to subscribe to NLW Figs. That's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys later.